Rakyat Pipsa!
Scene starts with Luffy talking, accompanied by the sound of freedom drums growing louder. Luffy said, "What happened to me? Why can I still rise? Even though I've lost." Luffy looks astonished by what happened to him. He didn't think he was still alive after a devastating attack by Kaido. Luffy undergoes a taste of that he was filled with a sense of pleasure. At the same time, black lightning with a very large amount shone out of Luffy's body. While it's in other places, Momonosuke looks goosebumps at the same time scared. After Zunisar, Luffy was a joy boy. Then inside the castle, Sanji, who was unconscious, suddenly woke up as he senses Luffy's powerful presence. On the roof of the castle, Kid Lau, Hyugoro, and Marco also feel the same and claim that Luffy was still alive. Then the story moved to a room in the Panga Castle. Mario, Joa, Para, Gross come back, continue their conversation about the current condition. In Warnakuni, one of them said that losing one Cipinol agent to kill Luffy is a sacrifice that must be made. Then Gross, who holds a sword, says that government of the world, apparently for the past 800 years, who's always looking for Luffy's devil fruit. But according to him, Luffy's devil fruit seems to always run away from government of the world. Then accused Gross of another. It all happened because of Luffy's devil fruit has a mind of its own. Gross with blonde hair finally revealed if Luffy's actual devil fruit's name were Mythical Zoan Hitoid Nomi Modelniker. After the statement, Luffy's silhouette against the moon's background is shown. In the next scene, the same silhouette as Sangatniker that USU ever mentioned. According to Grosse, body of Niker, it still has elements, rubber, and he can fight as he wants. Grosse says, wherever Nika is, it will make people around him smile happily. Then he revealed, if the legendary figure turns out to be our freedom fighters, or commonly called Nicker, the Sun God Awakening. Luffy also thought he would provide a rubber body. The captain of the Straw Hat of great strength and freedom, commonly mentioned also that Luffy's devil fruit's powers were the most terrifying force in the world. More, Kazimbu suddenly shown appearing in places. Yori and Orochi are unique for no apparent reason. Kazimbu even brutally burned the body of the Orochi, then went back to Luffy, and now the captain of the Straw Hat feels that he can do whatever she wants. It's also revealed that the sound of the drums of liberation that have been heard is from the beating heart of Luffy. Luffy felt himself has reached its highest strength. He said he was in Gear 5 mode. Next, Explosion Hoshoku Aki from Luffy's body was shown to go straight through Onigashima Castle. Many black lightning that appears and covered the castle. And this knocks all the Kaido materials out. Kaido's face also showed concern while looking at the roof of Onigashima Castle, but suddenly Luffy appeared on the roof of the Onigashima with his enlarged hands. He then effortlessly drags Kaido, who is still in his dragon form. Luffy's friends who witnessed it was so shocked and couldn't believe that the captain of the Straw Hat can do that. Luffy then pulls the Kaido to the roof of Castellongasima, seems to have the slightest trouble. Then he increases his muscle mass and starts to rotate Kaido's body rapidly. After vomiting the body of the Yonko, he then brutally slammed. After that, Kaido is now shown in half condition, conscious with a very dizzy face. Moments later, Kaido began to realize and be surprised, and grateful at the same time, as Luffy was found to be alive. Without length, Kaido immediately fired Balagris at Luffy who is now in his normal state, instead lying on the ground laughing non-stop. But when he saw Kaido bridge ball attack, Luffy then hit the ground with his hands and make the area around him into rubber. Then Luffy changed again to his muscular mode. He uses the land to bounce off a Balagris Kaido attack and creates a huge explosion. After the scene, Ekuroda finally shows in detail Luffy's body, which had transformed into Nika, the sun god. His physical form is almost similar to his normal form, but his clothes now turned white, and his hair into flames accompanied with white steam surrounding his body. Luffy's eyebrows now look curved like Sanji, and his pupils have also changed. In times when Kaido tries to get back up, Luffy laughs non-stop. Kaido then apologizes for attacking Luffy. When she was framed by the pintle, the young Kong admit he didn't want to win that way. Luffy also with his sharp gaze looked into Kaido's eyes. And One Piece, this episode ends with Luffy saying, "Let's end this fight." The beginning scene is shown Luffy has risen and shown his latest evolution, Gear 5, and saw the resurrection of the Devil Fruit. Kaido seems to realize that Luffy has been able to go into a state of awakening of his Devil Fruit. But at the same time, Kaido also feels strange. Luffy's body had changed too. Kaido calls that change a special trait of Zoan-type Devil Fruit, whereas what people knew all along, Luffy is a Paramecia-type Devil Fruit eater. Don't want to bother with that. Kaido immediately turns his mouth to eat Luffy's body. Luffy tried to hold back Kaido's, and unexpectedly, he chose to put his body into Kaido's. Luffy launches a barrage of attacks towards Kaido, and ended with a balloon Gumu move. That move makes the body Kaido suddenly inflates like a balloon. Don't stop there. Luffy continues the attack by grabbing both of Kaido's eyes pass inside. Luffy also managed to escape from Kaido's body, and the attacks continue. Luffy suddenly becomes a giant. But Luffy attacks Kaido with his giant body, failed because Kaido bites Luffy's flesh first. Instead of resigning with Kaido attacks, Luffy counterattacks by making Kaido dragon body into a rope, and Luffy tries jumping rope. Don't want to be embarrassed forever. Kaido tries to get away from Luffy with Balagris move. Luffy's body was knocked and almost fell into the waters of Wano. But Luffy picked himself up and ran straight to Kaido. Unfortunately, in those moments, Kaido is already preparing to launch a follow-up attack, and Kasanze Ragnarok sends a blow to Luffy's face. Luffy slams into the ground to penetrate into the Onigashima main stage area. Luffy's appearance shocked everyone, including Lau, Kid Chopper, Nami, and Otama that arrived, making their eyes pop out of each other's head. Noticed an oddity in Luffy's body. Kaido says she felt like she saw something in a storybook or comic. Kaido also praised the performance shown by Luffy, but it looks like Luffy's out of strength, and there's no way to fight anymore. And anywhere, Luffy suddenly reverts to normal appearance, and even she seemed completely exhausted. Not long after, Luffy got back up and his body turned back into. Oh wait, they echo once more as Luffy's heart sounds, and it seems so Luffy aroused the spirit again. Kaido, who is happy to see Luffy standing still, swings the fake straight at Luffy. Luffy, who couldn't dodge the current, willing the back of his head hit by Palugata. Kaido, but instead of getting hurt, Luffy's head and morphed into a Palugata Kaido-like form. Doesn't stop there. Kaido again threw a move that made Luffy's body slammed into the ground. Only the area of land around Luffy turned to rubber, and Luffy's body bounced off the rocks on one side. In those moments, Luffy suddenly prepared to launch a counterattack. which unexpectedly succeeded in making Kaido crash. Kaido was again astonished by the transformation of Luffy's body, which he considered he's never seen before. And Luffy's methods of fighting are also unique, and Kaido confessed have never been confronted with such an ability. Luffy's fist goes straight to Kaido's face. Kaido was knocked to the ground, and this episode was closed with Luffy claiming that the fight between the two was a lot of fun. Still continues the ultimate fight between Straw Hat Pirate captains, Monkey and Luffy with the captain of the Beast Pirates. Kaido scene! Show! Kaido sprawled after Luffy punched his head to a dent in body. Kaido was turned to rubber by the power of awakening the devil fruit Luffy. Kaido seems doubtful that his opponent, not the one who got beat by it 3 times before. Kaido begins to question Luffy. Actually, the question was raised because Luffy's current figure is different from before. Luffy's transformation into White Cause. So one of the things that made Kaido question it. On the other side, Zunisa seemed to reminisce about past moments with Joy Boy. Zunisa mentioned that the rhythm of the drums of freedom he listened to. This moment reminded her of moments in the past. According to Zunisa, the rhythm makes Joy Boy seem to be in the present. And Zu was even more convinced that fate requires him to trust Luffy. In that moment, Oda looks like pressing Joy Boy, and Luffy's not the same guy. But they both ate the same devil fruit. That is Hitoide Nomi Modelniker. Back to Luffy vs Kaido, the captain of the Ludo Pi Straw Plow. Answering the questions posed by Kaido, Luffy's answer seemed to assert himself as the same person, despite undergoing physical changes. I'm a monkey in Luffy, the one who will surpass you, and becomes the Pirate King. Luffy said the answer made a hodgepodge of relief, because the person he's facing is still Luffy, not someone else. Kaido then explains, if what happened to Luffy is awakening, a phase where the soul and body eat the devil fruit, was able to unleash the devil fruit's full potential. But Kaido, who claimed to have never imagined Luffy's power, is beyond reason. Yonko also confided in Luffy that he has lost a lot as a result of this Wano War, men and palaces that he had built many years. With Jundari technique, Ryoseo gun, Kaido then attacked Luffy repeatedly in the part of his head because of his rubber body that makes Luffy's head shape like the end of a spiked mace. Kaido's! Luffy also responded with repeated punches to the stomach Kaido.
calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling